MV3 Traders Futures Trade Radio is brought to you by the Ultimate Trader's Guide, your one-stop shop for the most valuable income-producing information on the internet. Go to ultimatetradersguide.net to learn more. Link in the description below. All right, what's going on, everybody? How we doing? How we feeling? Sound check is good. I spent a lot of time yesterday, after yesterday's stream, making sure my sound was like just really fine-tuning everything with my streaming setup and making sure my sound was good. So we shouldn't have any more sound issues from here on out. Not unless I just really mess something up. But I got all the settings just right how I want them, so everything should be good. We've seen a lot of selling, especially since GDP. That's brought NQ to its bear moon. Its bear moon being from 198.5. Looks like to 200. Wait, no, that's not right. 198.5. I can't see it. I gotta scroll my chart. Let's see. About 140. There we go. And we're continuing to see some of this search for cheaper inventory on our bear moon. As we, get RTA started up, but the volume is kind of light. That's one thing I did forget to do. Hold on. I did all my pre-market analysis, but I forgot to put the ATR. It's gonna be messed up now, but it's all good. And the volume check. Lightly guess. All right, there we go. So now that's in the journal. They didn't go out for the tweet, but at least it's in the journal. All right, cool. Still selling off the nicely. Current supply that I'm looking at is also around automation around 170. With inventory response at 140. Short momentum continues. Also, if you don't mind, I really ask for this. If you can hit the like button. Really, I want to know, kind of see how many people in here. I noticed my statistics are not always accurate that I can see as I stream. Holding this little budgeting phase here between 160 and 140. The break of 140 will take us into deep space, what I refer to as deep space, where I don't have any more power range lines. It's nothing too complicated. The power range is my way of easily identifying how far we are away from the initial mean. The initial mean from the opening session. I mean from the session open. Let me focus. Kind of holding supply here at 141. We got somewhat of a signal there, but that's a bit aggressive for me, even though it kind of makes sense. I do, just, understanding self, I do kind of struggle with trends. I trade ranges so much better than I do trends. Still in V1, but I can also kind of refer to as wave 1.
Order filled. Order filled.
The 5-point scalper there. Didn't really give me a whole lot of room to operate in there, but I think I took advantage of that as best as I could. Starting to lift supply. Macro scale that gives me a wave 1 signal. Looking at our inventory at 130. Be watching to see how far we make it back to that. As of right now, our main inventory, which is lightly seasoned. All right, let's see if we still looking for cheap inventory, or we're gonna hold the line. Looks like we're still looking for cheap inventory. Setting it up for more shorts. Start to get some more shorts trapped. Okay, there's this little squeeze action. Hopped on the elevator. Took us to some cheaper inventory. found the point where we like a point of interest for our inventory. Pick up some inventory. I don't expect, since with how this has happened, I don't expect a whole lot of momentum down here. Like I said, I could be wrong, but I don't expect a whole lot of momentum down here as of yet until we like take some time to spend inside of a shop. Just hang out in the shop for a while, and then that's what I'll be looking for, to see another push of momentum. So I'm just expecting us to just kind of have this little slow sort of a chop. Find some points to where we may catch a little bit of, we may have to, travel a little bit we may find a point to where we have to travel a bit to find what we're looking for. But until we have a period of setting up a shop, aka holding a range and resetting, rebudgeting, rebalancing. Once we find that new balance, and then that's when I will be looking for some momentum, or new momentum. Right now, Wholesale is just in normal operations, collecting cheap, all the cheap inventory that it can. We're near a daily low. Our daily low is around, looks like kind of got current price covering up, but it looks like 11,000. We are roughly 100 points away from. So we got a little bit of a slightly seasoned supply at 120, but our main supply is at 150. Inventory still in the 110 zone. Quickly tap that supply at 120. See if that gives us enough energy to take us to cheaper inventory. And yes, it does. Now, how low do we go? Actually, in hindsight, I could have been aggressive there. That did give me a signal on that quick inventory response, but it happened too quickly for me to actually react to it unless I was super aggressive. Just paying attention to the price action. Another thing that I found that has helped me to like be with my awareness other than just screen time is to be vocal with what I see, especially with the hindsight capital stuff. So that'll help me retain the things that I witness as I'm watching this and getting the screen time. So the next time when it shows up, you know, I'm a little bit more aware of it. And the more I do that, the more I become aware of it. So that's how I could, because when I started, I would see stuff in hindsight and I would wonder how I could see that in real time. Like, it took a long time to get it. But one of the things that I found out that helped me be able to do that was to, you know, be verbal with what I saw, whether that was live or it was, you know, some hindsight capital type stuff. You know, verbally communicating that stuff, along with all the journaling, all that stuff works together. It's ways of training your brain to be able to recognize it as quickly as possible. So that way, you're able to react to it according to your strategy, according to your plan when you see it.
Order submit. Order filled.
See if we can get another move here. Wouldn't be surprised if it breaks down.
Order filled.
Kind of had to scalp that one out right there, just by, because I got in, I played it aggressive, so just by the way that it worked out and where I saw the quick inventory. Now, the way that it should work out, it should keep selling. Doesn't mean it has to, but just off of probabilities. So we are seeing that continuation of the short of the inventory, inventory hunt. Now just the big question mark on that is how low does it go? And we found the bottom of this little quick little micro. I want another word for that. Let's see. Inventory search. I'm gonna go with inventory search. Have we reached the bottom of this zoomed in inventory search? Holding the awareness that our current inventory, which was quick inventory, is around 192. Still holding supply up there around that 120 area. I would say 116 to 120. Got an interesting inventory response at 100. And automation is sitting in the middle of that. For me personally, I I maintain awareness of automation and what I'm calling MSRP. It's just indicators, but I don't put a lot of weight on them. You know, they are what they are. I put a lot of weight on. I put weight on them before, kind of, you know, to make trading decisions based off of them. But what I've come to find out after, like, just studying and executing around those areas, is they matter when they matter, but when they don't, when they don't. So it's just like it's a coin toss. So it really, and in the grand scheme of things, they don't matter as much. What really matters to me is price and structure. All right, let's just say price action and structure. Taking us back to that supply zone. So we did maintain our inventory. We lifted inventory there and kind of giving us a micro inverted head and shoulders pattern. We're still getting a supply response in the supply zone. I'm just gonna, well, it's already kind of missed it. Well, no. Yeah, I would have had to be aggressive there. Just thinking about execution. It's challenging to narrate and trade at the same time. Quick inventory response off of automation, which lifted inventory. The way that they're printing this would easily lead one to believe that it's possible to lift supply. Only time will tell. Gives me another wave 1 signal. Still stalling at automation. Back to that 100 inventory. That inventory response there is relatively kind of strong, the way that it happened based off the price action, not necessarily based off the print, but based off the price action. It's got this little shop within a shop here that we're collecting all the orders that we can. doing so in a fashion that I refer to as no orders left behind. Most people refer to it as chop. Chop is not very non-descriptive other than just what it's doing. But why it's doing it, that's why I call it no orders left behind, because we're just collecting all of the orders that we can. Whatever anybody wants to place an order down here, we'll take it from the perspective of wholesale. And the question becomes, well, what does wholesale want to do with it? All right, so we got the top of the supply is really above 120. But that push right there. Now let me just watch it. Really interesting print here, or interesting budgeting going on here. Don't want to leave any of these orders out. Kind of while I'm staying out of this. So I would expect to see that volatility that I mentioned earlier from here. So right there, I was intensely watching it. Now, if we get another wave, so I counted 6 waves there based off of how I'm counting waves. And that would be wave 7. But we are starting to pick up that volatility. Actually, no, that will start. So no, this is a new wave. Okay. So now we're at wave 1. And I haven't explained this at all anywhere, so you probably have no idea unless you know, I'm sure there's certain listeners that can understand what I'm talking about, but for the most part, you know, I'm reading off these waves. I haven't explained this, so don't worry about it if you don't understand what I mean. Now, we'll see. Maybe, you know, depending on how much attention this video gets, we'll see. I got a way of working this. If I plus I before I release stuff, I want to make sure that I really do the homework on it and spend some time not researching, but observing it and getting to know it as best as I can before I actually release it. So when you see me put stuff out about things that I've recognized or things that I become aware of, just know I put a lot of work behind it. So it's not just something that I see just quickly, for the most part. Sometimes I do. If I see something that carries a lot of weight, but it's gonna be based off of past experience. So anyway, so if you see me put something out based off of something that I come into awareness of, just know that I put a lot of work behind it, and it's not just something that I'm just trying to put out that I just quickly saw that I thought could was interesting enough to get views or anything like that. The things that I put out, a lot of work goes behind it. So before this move here, just to briefly explain this, I was watching that little area, the last little piece of that no orders left behind area, where I counted, I think 6 waves, and then we started a new wave, and we just caught 2 new wave 1s, which that was the 6th wave part was actually the trigger before, just for this moment here. Doesn't always happen this way, but was the trigger for this volatility jump here. Now, interestingly, I think that all of that happened at 10, right at the time that I've always witnessed. It's either 9:45 or 10 o'clock Eastern time that I witnessed a change in participation. It's the most accurate way that I can think to put it. Or a shift in participation. Now we've lowered supply, got a quick supply response at 84, 1184. It would not be surprised to see some continued selling. Well, I don't want to say this. I don't. Never mind. I let it be what it is. I'm just gonna let it sit there. Continuing to search for cheaper inventory. Something I'm thinking about, interesting from yesterday when I went back and looked at the charts. What I kind of, at the beginning of yesterday's stream, I mentioned what I thought that overnight, you know, action, you know, the participation what I from the wholesale perspective, what I thought it was going to be from a big picture. And when I look back, it was interesting to see that that's actually what played out. It took so long that I couldn't, you know, it happened outside of my window. Would have been nice to be able to have caught some of that. All right, so we really like that inventory at 1160. Took us back to some quick supply at 75. And with this low participation, it's kind of easy to see once you get used to it, what wholesale is kind of doing, because they don't have much to operate with. Like right now, we haven't even crossed over, you know, 200K in volume for NQ, which is at this time, it's like we should be well above 200K if we had, you know, the normal type of participation. But this time of the year, with a lot of people, they step away from the markets. I've been seeing that a lot from, you know, people that I have, that I somewhat follow on any different spaces. What's going on, Wes? Continuing to look for cheaper inventory. On that previous budgeting phase up there above 110 or 100, they probably got rid of a bulk of their inventory. Which is probably the reason why they was making sure they worked all the orders that was in that area. Rebalancing their books. And one narrative now could be that they're rebuilding, restocking their shelves, collecting new inventory. Buy is now at 70 inside of automation. I haven't been trading this, you know, got stuck on there narrating and just expressing thoughts. But this is completely tradable. Continuing our inventory hunt. Still searching for inventory. Slightly broken below that daily pivot. Should have plenty of room before our next daily point of interest. Let's see where that's at. It's around 820, 825-ish, around 820. As a range, we're just going to call it 800. Keep it simple. It goes without saying at this point, there's no guarantees that it's going to make it there anytime soon. It's just a point of awareness to what the next structure is for inventory from a daily perspective. But in today's session, we just got a quick inventory response at 11:30. Officially at the close of my window, as we come back into previous supply at 145. The way it's printing, starting to season that supply zone at 1145. Question becomes here: do we set up shop, or do we keep exploring for either inventory or supply? Back at that supply zone. They're showing strength. Lifting supply. quickly created a new wave, and this will be wave 2. I'm watching this thinking that's wave 3, but I want to study for this evening or this afternoon. Something that not changing anything to what I'm doing. Just I continue to study as I see interesting things, and it's something I'm excited to study this afternoon. It's based off the structure and how they're moving price around. I'm only mentioning this, kind of using this stream as my verbal journal. Also gives me an idea of what I can do for content. All right. Yeah, okay. Make a mental note of that. Definitely going to need to invest in some more storage space. Lost the wave count, but that was a new wave, which took us back to a brand new wave. So from here, for the next few minutes, the way that this is printing, there's a potential for a volatility spike, but I'm expecting this to be kind of slow for a while, and them to start they're in this new phase of budgeting, kind of marking up inventory and supply at a micro scale, which brings me to a good point to start my closeout stuff. In fact, while I'm thinking about it now, I'm gonna go ahead and mark off these 1 minute triggers while I still got a good overall picture. And for anyone that may be interested in these 1 minute triggers that I'm talking about, I put these up in the Discord every day. Like I mark off the triggers and I make take a screenshot and put them in the Discord every day. So if you're new to this, if you're new to this environment or whatever, new to trading, and you're just looking for something simple where you can build your screen time, since we're on the topic, feel free to use this in conjunction with the strategy that's kind of around this whole concept that and that's the reason that I did it in the first place, to give a simple way for anyone that's new to be able to build their screen time and be able to start, give you something where you can get focused and actually start to build what you need to be, as a good trader, or the kind of trader that you're trying to be, right? So you don't have to waste time trying to look for a strategy, because the strategy is the simplest thing. Here's a simple strategy based off of what I mentioned in the course that I put up on YouTube this summer, Futures Trading Summer School, right? And you can use this as a starting point, develop your own stuff, get your screen time in, start to see what makes sense to you, and you can build from there. It's one thing that I don't know how I just came into the awareness of this quickly. I think I just, it's by the way that I operate. I came into the awareness quickly, early into my journey of day trading, where a lot of people like to sell courses under the frequency that the strategy is going to be the most important thing that you need, or the strategy is why most people don't succeed in this industry. However, that's not really what I discovered. It's not really the case, because every strategy that I've seen be, presented, for the most part, has had its period where it worked out. And if you took full advantage of that strategy, every strategy that I ever created, if I would have took full advantage of it when I was figuring things out, then that would have paid for the times where it didn't work. So it had nothing to do, the time that it took me to start to really catch my footing and get into my vibe, really start to see some sort of consistency. If I wasn't so focused on the strategy in that time, then, I would have had a different outcome. And what it taught me is not really the strategy. The strategy is not what makes the trader. It's all of those intangibles that I'm always talking about that makes the trader, right? That makes you successful or puts you in that 90%, right? So And what my response to that, to starting it off with MV3 Trader, was to just make simple strategies. So look, you can look at this strategy, but just only use this strategy as a starting point, so you don't have to worry about trying to find the strategy. The strategy really doesn't matter that much. Once all the other pieces start to come together, then you can just find or create. I would suggest to create, but you can tap into the strategy that works the best for you using all those intangibles that's really going to make you successful in this field and any other field. And then you can go from there. You can build from there. But anyway, back to the original point. So if you're interested, if you're looking for a simple strategy, this is one that's completely free. I've tracked it over, I think I got over a year's worth of screenshots in the Discord. I got a lot of screenshots in the Discord that I posted up marking these off. So you can use that. You can see what kind of, reactions it gets or whatever. And you just use that as a starting point to start developing if you're new to this, right? So with all that being said, since this is at the end of it, I'll probably clip that out and do my thing with that. But I appreciate everybody for coming through. Hope you have a good rest of your session. And I'll see you tomorrow. Trade it easy.